Good afternoon, ladies, gentlemen. Uh, Today I'm trying to do something very, very different. I'd like everybody's cooperation here. I'm here on stage. I'm Niraj Jaipuria. I run this company called BIRetail. We've helped lots of brands and retailers over the last 15 years to make sense of data. We all as retailers understand that data is a gold mine for all of us. All of us do our bit in terms of mining that gold out of that data, but a lot of us that I've learned struggle in actually getting value from data. So I don't have an agenda today. I'm doing something very unique, which is called participant-driven agenda. I want you to drive the agenda today for my session. The floor is open right from this moment onwards. I have nothing to present. I am here only to answer questions, queries, doubts that you might have around analytics, how to bring value from analytics, what does a retailer or brand need to do to make analytics work for them. So, like I said, audience, please, floor is open. Anybody, how many retailers do we have in this? Okay. How many of us use analytics, data, reporting, dashboards, whatever we call it? How many of us? All of us? Great. How successful have you been in driving value from analytics? Anybody has challenges? Anybody has issues? All right. So what I'll do is to set the context. We had sent out an email, a couple of emails to the participants earlier and invited questions for this session. Can I have the next slide, please? We've got a decent amount of responses over the email, people asking us questions around analytics. If nobody has a question right now, I'm going to take one of these from what we've got over the email. But again, house is open. Please put your hands up if you have a question right now. Anybody? Yes, please. Go ahead. What you can also do while she's asking is, if anybody relates to any of these questions that have come in through email, you can also ask me to answer one of these. Yes, please.
Hello, sir.
Hi.
My question is for you that what is a piece of advice you will give for the young generation who is, pursuing career in retail but have a good knowledge in database, Power BI or SQL, all the IT related stuff?
Okay. So the one advice I'll give you is continue being a retail expert first, because analytics is not about technology. Unfortunately, we think analytics is about technology. Yes, you use tech to deliver what you want, but the true value comes if you understand the domain. So first be a retailer or think like a retailer, and then think about how technology is going to help do that solution. I think what we've done in BIRetail, or the only differentiator we have here, is we are a retail-only analytics company, and we don't sell licenses. We sell retail solutions. We think like retailers. We solve problems. Dashboards and reports don't solve problems for retailers. They just help bring data back. So think of what problem you want to solve, be objective-driven, and that's what I would say. Yeah, can we move on? Next question. Anybody can relate with any of these questions? Anybody? All right. In that case, I'm just going to take any question from here. These are actual retailers who've asked us questions. So I'll take question number 3. A retailer has asked us, we are a mid-sized business, multi-brand fashion outlet with about 20 stores. We already do dashboards and reports. We'd like to take the next step into forecasting. So which is the best problem we should try to solve? So I think this is a very relevant question. If you're in fashion apparel retail, and you've heard some sessions in the morning, Lalitji was saying about assortment planning, right? I would say for fashion retailers, assortment planning is a very, very critical part. It's about merchandise planning. So assortment planning is just one of the starting points. It starts with assortment planning, but a bigger challenge that a lot of retailers face is, I've ordered my goods, they've arrived at my warehouse, I have 20 stores, for example. How do I distribute the right merchandise to the right store? When should I send? How much should I send? More importantly, When should I pull out a style from a store? What is my triggers and alerts for saying that this style is not doing well here, it's doing well somewhere else, let's pull it out. My recommendation here to this particular retailer would be something like that. Try and go in for what is called the auto replenishment system, if any of you are aware of what ARS is, right? Try and automate that. That's a low-hanging fruit in terms of forecasting or using AI/ML techniques towards making solving an actual genuine problem in retail. All right. Again, floor is open. Anybody, any of these questions or any new question you have? Anybody? Yes, please, sir.
Just extending what you said right now, that assortment and planning. So you mentioned something just now, some technical.
Auto replenishment system.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
ARS.
So is it related to analytics, or is it some kind of an application, or is it like
Sure.
how can you explain what is it?
So auto replenishment system is nothing to do with analytics. It's nothing to do with technology. It is a function of a retailer. I understand you are a fashion brand retailer as well yourself. The moment you have multiple stores, you normally do centralized buying, right? Your goods will arrive, let's say, at a warehouse location. And that's where your allocation system starts. If you've ordered 30 styles in a particular category for this season, you've got 200 or 2,000 pieces. Which style to send to which store and how much and when? That's the allocation problem that we are talking about. Fashion retailers struggle with this problem very often. So once you send it, styles and sizes will start selling, especially in fashion retail. Having a full set or a healthy set is very, very important, right? So you may realize that medium and large sells out, and the moment medium large sells out, if it's not replenished in time, your sales for the other sizes will also start dropping. That's a criticality of fashion retail. So auto replenishment system is a function of fashion retail where it says you should be able to replenish quickly, fast, at the right time before you start losing sales. So that is what the replenishment system is. With technology, what we do is we automate it. We make it rule-based. We try to build some understanding of what is selling where, which sizes, how much, what should be stocked, what should be pulled out. That whole solution is called auto replenishment. And of course, we use technology to solve it.
So is it available in the systems that you offer, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So BIRetail has a very strong ARS tool that is inbuilt. Absolutely right.
Thank you.
Yeah. Any more questions? Anybody? All right. I'll just choose any one of these. I'll just take the first one. Somebody said that since the last 1 year, I've started data analytics. I've created 60 reports. Now I'm a victim of my own creation. I realize that I'm spending all my time looking at reports, and I spend less time on my business. Anybody relates to a problem like this? Anybody? Yeah, there you go. So what am I doing wrong? My only advice to people like this is dashboards and reports don't solve problems. It is necessary but not sufficient. So there are tools today, including BIRetail. There are enough tools in the market today where while you have dashboards and reports, you have automation built into the tool which says define exception alerts, triggers, which tells you. So for example, if you're looking at a report which is called a daily sale report, where you're looking at your 20 stores, yesterday sale, MTD sale compared to last year, etc. While you create that report, add in some exception triggers saying, send me this report if any store is doing less than 80% of target. And then you go to sleep. So what your BI tool should be doing is it should be opening this report by itself every morning, checking if there are stores which are doing less than 80% of target. If all stores are above that threshold, it should not bother you. It should not send you that report by email. But out of 20, if you have 2 stores which are doing less than 80%, then you should get a report with only those 2 stores. What has that virtually become is it's become your virtual assistant, right? So you can create. We all have 500 problems to deal with in retail, right? You can create reports to monitor each of these 500 problems, and then if you're using a a good enough tool like BIRetail, you can actually ask the tool to check for exceptions for each of these 500 problems so that you are not looking at 500 reports every morning, but the tool is doing it for you and telling you only those 5 things that you need to concern yourself with every morning. Right? Again, any questions from the audience? I'll go on to the next one here. I'll take 1B. My reports are just another way for me to play catch up. I am discovering what went wrong yesterday, and all my time goes in correcting that. But my business is continuing to bleed every day, right? So this is a great problem. I can well relate with. I'm sure a few of you here can relate with. Don't look at analytics only to do what we call reactive reporting. Reactive reporting is looking at data of yesterday, finding out what went yesterday, and then trying to correct it. Instead, engage into what we call predictive reporting. My suggestion to all of you is don't get too worked up with nomenclature. Predictive reporting is no rocket science. You can do it in a very, very simple manner. That is where your business is going to take a quantum leap, or rather I'd say that's where your analytics will start working for you. So for example, if one of your stores is not doing well because when you realized digging into the problem that that store had some fast-moving items which ran out of stock for 7 days in the last month, and you lost sales because of that. While this is good to know, but this has already happened last month and you can't change it. And it will happen again the next month if you look at it subsequently. So what you need to do is you need to build your analytics solutions in such a way that the next time you're going to run out of stock of a fast-moving item in a store, your tool should be able to prompt that to you before a problem happens. That is the basis of starting into predictive reporting. Start getting into preventive solutioning rather than corrective solutioning, right? Again, I'd say most BI tools today support that. Is just your ability to actually get down to your knees and say, I'm going to implement it in that manner. All right, one last question. Anybody in the audience? Okay, I'll just take any one of these. Social media. Anybody looks at Google Analytics, Facebook, AdWords, etc.? Anybody here? No? Okay, I'll just skip that. I'll take question 4A, right? A lot of small retailers have approached us and asked, we are too small, we've got only 5 stores, or we don't do any stores, we're just doing online, we are selling on a few marketplaces or SIS. When is the right time for me to look at a BI solution? So my answer to them is the moment you've expanded from one channel to a second channel, whether it's, if you're in the offline space, the moment you've grown from one store to the second store, I think it's the right time to start looking at analytics. If you are purely online, if you are on one marketplace and you move to a second marketplace, I think that's the right time to look at analytics. So please understand that don't think of analytics as a cost proposition to your business. Think of it as a value proposition. When you choose your analytics vendor, make sure that whatever you're going to spend, you get at least 8 to 10x of what you're going to spend in your business back. Otherwise, it's not worth your time. All right, so I'm going to stop with this. My time's up, but I'm available if somebody wants to have questions answered offline. Thank you so much for being a great audience. Thank you very much.